Well, good morning, Teaserking family. You have me till about 12:05 as I got a haircut at 12:30. So we will discuss our football. We did win yesterday with Miami Old Miss. We went under 58 and a half, and they got 58. Now, yes, they had a couple of missed field goals, but that really wouldn't have mattered had they made them. Miami maybe just needed a field goal at the end to win as opposed to getting the touchdown at the end. So would have been a little different. So Miami, their defense was pretty good until the fourth quarter, and then it kind of faded. So at 17-13, I'm like, I got a winner. At 19-17, I got a winner. Then it got a little interesting, but it was all late. So I was okay to give up that last touchdown by Miami. I thought Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin were going to play. They're so excited. Just a second. So the lesson learned is even though a team has a 12 defense, they might not. It depends on the offense. How many? It really depends on who you're playing at offense. Just a second. Anyway, so I just saw the highlights of the game since I don't get ESPN and I'm not one who could watch the game. They show so many fucking commercial or reviews. They don't even know how to like replay the game. So a guy throws a touchdown. And this gets back to what I was talking about, how they're trying to control us with emotions and stuff. And it's like, let's see the coach, let's see the kicker smile. And they very much show the emotion of the play more than the play. So you're looking at the guy who kicked the field goal, 5 times. Let's see the field goal again. Look at this block. They show it 5 times. I go, dudes, this is just a replay where you're supposed to just show the highlights. I don't need to see a field goal made 5 times or a touchdown 5 times. The guy had a big run for Old Miss in the second quarter, and they're showing it 15 times. Okay, I get it. He scored. Can we move on? This is highlights. I don't need to see the emotion part of it. And this is what the media is trying to do, control our emotions and add to our less ability to concentrate longer because we keep seeing these little broncs and little emotions. Good morning, Ryan. Yeah, I was. I bet the under on the game was 58 and a half. So I made it by half a point, which shouldn't have been close. It was in the 30s and going into the fourth quarter, but I'll take it. Again, it fell in the right spot where I could give up that last touchdown. And had they kicked a field goal to tie, then it would have been hit and run, then it may, because of these stupid rules, it probably would have got a field goal and a field goal or something. So I would have lost if they would have kicked the field goal there. But scoring the touchdown made it right a half point under the number. So, yeah, it was a winner. I bet tonight's game, Indiana, Oregon. And then I got 3 locks going. I got one with tonight's game, and then I got I think 2 or 3. I got 1, 2. I got 2 pro locks, but it might be right now. What I'm waiting for the Ram game. Either the line going down or the weather getting better. Right now, it's rainy there and it's windy, so I can't play this game over into the rain and wind. Now, if it calms down, this game's tomorrow night. If it calms down, I can certainly. I like the game over in a without this big rain and wind. I mean, it's either now it's the over's the play, but then it's either take the Rams or don't play it. I can't play it under, and I can't play Carolina. Although it is tempting with 16, but I can't trust Steve Young, and I'm not gonna fuck with Stafford. When I look at Carolina games, Buffalo blew them out, Seattle blew them out, the Niners blew them out. The only game they won was against the Rams, and I kind of analyzed that. Ryan, I played a live halftime over of 56. Okay, well, so you got the win. You could have just played the over. Is it 52? You could have just played it over 46 at the beginning of the game if you liked it over. I'm surprised you played it over at halftime. What was the score, like 17, 14 or something like that? But again, it shows you where the 12 defense is not is good against average kind of offense. Now, Chambliss, the quarterback, did he look good? I don't know. Again, not watching it and just watching highlights, you can't really tell how good he looked. He seems to have a good arm. I wouldn't call him the first pick in the draft, that's for sure. Yeah, he can run. Well, what separates him from Lamar is he can run, but he can actually throw the ball where Lamar can't. And that's the critical point. What is that? So I don't know. Just a second. Making my pita toast. So, I mean, that's why you got to bet the game. Like, what do you think's going to happen? And if you watch the half, I don't know how you went under or over. I would have not went over, but again, I didn't see the game. So I don't get what ESPN gathers by not showing the game on the ABC. What is the purpose of a lot of people not watching the game? How does that benefit you? And I'm sure it pisses off a lot of advertisers who do ABC and have to listen to Herb Kirkstreet. It's terrible. Ryan, just wasn't impressed with defensive play. Okay. Yeah, you can see that in the game. You can see how the game's going. Like when they played A&M, they were just shutting them down. South Florida, they shut them down. This is the biggest score. They gave up 27 points, was the most they've given up all year, which is pretty impressive. So the defense is very good. Chambliss obviously rolled around. They had that one long run. So a little bit of a matchup, but they still have a very good defense. And we'll see what happens tonight. I mean, what we think the defenses are. Now they played a 30-20 Indiana one at Oregon, so I would expect something in that neighborhood. Well, 7 was a pick 6. I'm expecting mid-20 games tonight. So let's let's just verify our gold and silver. It was up a lot today, this morning. Let's see where it's at 10 o'clock. All right, we're finally over. We finally got over 4,500. It was fighting it and fighting it and fighting it. And now we're finally 45.10 on our way to 5,000. And ooh, a nice little jump there, 79.72. Now we've been up to 83. And I really don't understand at 83 the bank's shorting it, knocking it back down. What's the point? I don't know. What is the point of that? I mean, you want to lose more money because it's going to go higher. There's huge demand for it. Why would you short something when there's huge demand for it? Now, okay, it's fixed. So it went from 83 down to what, 75, 74? So you just playing that game, you made $9 an option, but then the people buying the other half of it, you got to pay in physical. And in this situation, what are you doing? Because you if you short it, you still have to buy it and get out of the option. It's not a one way. I'm shorting and that's it. There's eventually buying. So you shorted it at 83. It's at 79.73. What are you gonna do? Just a second. All right, breakfast is or lunch is served. My pita bread in olive oil. Okay, so I don't get what they're doing, but that's how we were making money. When it would dip, we would buy a bunch of silver. Now at $80 an ounce, we're kind of done buying. And now it's in gold 45.10. Okay, so we'll take that. So having a good Friday. I think it just goes up from here. I don't get people who think they'll be profit taking, which is a no, because then you get back into this crap. And why do you want to be in this crap, right? You don't want to be in either of these dollars because they're printed to death. They're worthless. So you're not profit taking unless you're going to buy a house or a car with it or some asset or a Rolex with the gold. You don't want to use the goal of the game is get out of this. So if I have gold, why would I sell this and to get back into dollars? That'd be incredibly stupid. So I wouldn't want to do that. So this is not a stock. This is not, let's profit take. No, that's not what this is. This is watching an asset go, and there's really no reason for it to drop. The only reason a price drops on an item if there's no demand. When do we see no demand for gold and silver? Never. Why would we see no demand? All the people need silver. They're all buying it for their business, and then they're going to start buying it for what we're doing, which is for money. So why would that end? Gold, the same thing. You're getting out of the dollar, you're buying gold. Why would that end? Oh, I don't want gold anymore? Really? And then what cracks me up is the diversification angle. Well, let's diversify. Why would we want to diversify? Into what? Stocks? I know people who want to get into stocks to diversify. You're like, okay, what is the point of diversification? Well, I really don't know. So I'm going to buy a bunch of stuff and hopefully one of them will do well. Because if I knew, I wouldn't need to diversify. I really want Indiana to make it. I acquired a bit of silver dinnerware. Question, do I sell it or hang on to it also? Well, if it says silver on it, it's probably 90% silver. So this says here, I get the right light angle. This says 999. Here it says 999 fine silver. Well, your silverware probably doesn't say 999 fine silver. Maybe it does. Probably is sterling silver, but that's probably 90. It's like junk silver. You got a mercury dime or a half dollar, a quarter. It's junk silver. And I don't know if it's 90% or what, because they put other metals into it. See, we buy this because this is specifically silver. And it's 9999 silver. That means there's maybe copper, nickel, or something else just to make it hard. Silverware, I don't know, and the regular nickel dime quarters, I'm not sure how much silver it is. So if an ounce is $80, then this is $80 because this is 999 and it's 1 ounce. So I don't know. Like if you have a mercury dime, what is so it's $80. What does that make the mercury dime worth? $8? I don't know. Plus you got to like this. This is 18 karat. So the ounce hit 4,500. This isn't worth 4,500. It's worth 4,500 times 0.75 because there's other metals in there. So even though this weighs an ounce, it's not 1 ounce gold. It's 1 ounce total with 75% gold. So it's 4,500 times 0.75. It's worth about 3,800, something like that. So what's the junk silver? What's your silverware? So if it says, if it says 999 silver on it, which I don't know, sterling silver or that, but now would you hold it? Well, you're going to make money on it regardless, but just a little harder to sell. I can sell this. People can walk in and use this at a restaurant, and I've tried and it works. I know at my barbecue place, he will take silver. And if I show him it's worth $80, I'll get an $80 credit and go get my ribs. However, is he going to take silverware? Doubtful, because he doesn't know. Let's say you're trying to sell me silverware. I don't know how much. Is it 90%? Is it 999? Is it, how much is it? Is it, let's say I weigh it and it's 5 ounces, but it's really 90% or 75%. So this, we know it's 1 ounce and we know it's 18 karat because it says 18 karat on it. So we know it's real gold, 18 karat. You don't know what the silver, so it's harder to sell. Now a lot of people are selling their silver to get either money for it or to buy coins. If I was you and I could go into my coin store, then you might trade it and say, here, I got this silverware, stainless steel or whatever, and and then you'll trade it for whatever, 5-10 ounces of silver. I mean, that would be, how much is it worth, and then how much silver. So I would want to be in this much more than I'd want to be in silverware or jewelry. As we know, jewelry isn't, this is 18 karat gold. I don't know how the silver works, but I'd be more apt to want to be in coins than in silverware or jewelry, or even junk. I don't get why anybody would want junk silver. Pre-1964 silver. What's the point of that? You're going to use it as barter. What do you mean you're going to use it as barter? It doesn't make any sense. What kind of barter? Anyway, so yeah, I mean, it's got value. So don't get rid of the sterling silver, or if you have silver jewelry. It's just easier to, everybody knows this is 999 2 ounce. Everybody knows it. You can see it, you can read it on there. It's maple leaf, so it's good. You don't have, like somebody made it. And a lot of the bullion is not from the mint. It's from other mints, but it does say 1 ounce 999 silver. So somebody gonna go buy it will see it's 1 ounce 999 silver. He'll buy it from you. So I get a lot of bullion because it's just cheaper, and all I want to do is buy silver. Um, anyway, so yeah, I mean, I would test it out, but it's going to go higher and higher. So maybe wait a little bit and then trade it for coins. I mean, okay, so do I sell it or hang on? It depends what you get, but you can hang on. The price is going to go up. Price will go to $1,000 an ounce, and then maybe you trade it in for silver. Um, right now, everybody doesn't understand is selling it because they don't get that the $75 is nowhere near the top. The top's up here. If you can tell me what this is, I don't know. I know here's your $80 Comex. Here's the real price. So you tell me, would you sell it here? I would not get out of silver. I wouldn't sell it for money. If I did sell, I would sell it for the coin I just showed you. But we don't know what this is. This could be 500, 1,000, 5,000. I'm guessing 1,000 at least conservatively. Sterling, I do believe it'll say on it. It should say on it if it's sterling silver or not. Yes, I was thinking the trade idea. Yeah, that's fine depending on the store. But I would go into a store. My guy, you could go into. I did that with my wedding ring and I had a gold bracelet. I took it in, traded it, and got a half ounce of gold at the time. So, they're going to get you a little bit, but on a trade in, you'll be all right. But I don't think there's a hurry to do it. As long as you have silver, it is. But I would check if it's sterling silver. Maybe it says 999 on it. Maybe it says 1 ounce of silver. I don't know what's on silverware. That's actually real silver, but it will have a value for you. All right. So again, diversification, I don't get. If I were to buy stocks to diversify, I'd be an idiot because the stocks have no value. They're not going to pay you out on them. When the shit hits the fan, JP Morgan's not going to give you your stocks. They own them, even though it's in your name, just like the money in the bank. They own it. So keep that in mind. They're the ones who own it, not you, even though it's in your name. So to see the reason we want to hold our gold and silver, right? I got it in my hand. That's the point of this. I can't get attacked on Wall Street where my $60,000 real estate trust is zero. That can't happen here because I have it. It's in my hand. I got it. The price ain't going anywhere but up. I'm fine with it. When I need it, I just go to the coin store and say, here's a couple ounces. Give me the fiat. I need to pay bills or I need to go on a vacation or whatever it is. I need to get bullshit money because people are still taking this, even though it's not worth anything. So I don't buy the diversification. Why would I diversify? My return on investment's incredible in gold and silver. Right? Gold went from $25 to $80 to $150 to $300 to $500. Beat that in the stock market. Plus, these stocks are held up. They're not real. The stocks are like a safe haven. People are, realizing the dollar's not worth anything. I'll get in the stocks. It's about to crash. Now I know it's 49,000. It's not going to crash. Okay, it will, but you can keep thinking that. See, people can't think ahead, except for us, right? So I teach you how to look ahead, what to look for. The boat hit the iceberg. Now we think ahead. Water's going to go in the boat. The boat's going to sink. We need to get on the lifeboat. In the stock market, the economy is crashing. The dollar's worthless. Nobody wants to play with us. They're all doing BRICS gold-backed currency, which has come out. So our market's going to crash, and mostly it'll be people pulling their money out of the stock market, right? I think Warren Buffett has pulled money out of the stock market. He's American, but I mean, the foreigners will pull their money. They got $40 trillion in it. They're going to pull their money out. They're going to bring it back to Germany and England and France, and they're going to put it in gold. So everybody thinks the U.S. is the reserve currency and it's the safest place, but that's not true. They want you to think that, but it's not true. So anyway, Ryan, I would trade it, but I would wait a little bit because from what I understand, everybody and their mother is taking it to the coin store and the what do you call it? The restructuring people, the guys who turn it back into coins. I can't think of the name. Something with an R. They're full. They're not accepting anymore because they've gotten so much more that they can't turn it into coins. So they're not taking it. So just give it time. But people are overreacting and not understanding. There's nothing wrong with holding the silver in gold, in jewelry, or in silverware, and it's fine. Just hold it. You can still sell it, but keep in mind it's not 999 1 ounce of silver. It's not 1 ounce of silver. The silverware is maybe 10 ounces, but maybe it's 8 ounces of silver and 2 ounces of nickel and copper and whatever else they put in silverware. Because they got to put strong stuff in so it can, you can use knives and forks and it won't fall apart. So I don't know. The diversification, people just are clueless. I'm supposed to diversify. The only reason you diversify in the stock market is you don't know which ones to buy. So you buy 4 or 5 different sectors, and then hopefully one of them goes up, and then the other 4 lose, and you kind of break even. That's the diversification. I don't diversify when I pick football games. I mean, I picked the under yesterday, and and the Green Bay getting the 7. It's not diversifying. It's another pick that I like. It's another stock that I like, but it's not diversification. So I know this Green Bay game is now like Green Bay -1. So you can still take Green Bay +5 if you like. As far as that, it's very cold and windy there. So I'm leaning as if you don't like taking Green Bay +5 to take the under in the game. It's 46. I think under 52 with the cold and the wind should be good. They played very low scoring game. Against the Lions was 19-16. And against Green Bay, the first game was, I think, 22-16 in overtime because of the onside kick. Now, the Bears have played high-scoring games, but a lot in this weather, and they'll be a little nervous. It's a playoff game. That's why I like Green Bay as a dog. They'll be able to move on the Bears. Anyway, so keep that in mind. I mean, just go buy the coins if you can. Just get rid of your money. Get rid of your paper. Leave a little bit for a few months. If you're working, just leave 2 months there, and then you get your paychecks. And if you're not, then that's fine. Then keep money out. You don't want to keep cashing your gold and silver in to pay your rent. Just keep it in dollars. But as much as you can buy, you can afford to buy gold and silver, just watch it go up. So I know mine, like I said, I bought the Highland Mint coins. I bought it $16 an ounce. It was $16 an ounce back in the 90s. I got 35 of them. Frank Thomas, Joe Marino, Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Barry Sanders. And they have a higher value as a collectible. So I wonder what they're worth now because I really haven't updated them. As silver is now $80, the value of those have to be a lot higher than just $80 because it was always, they were 75 when it was like $20 an ounce. All right, so keep that in mind. Huge demand for silver makes price go up. Huge demand for gold makes price go up. Very happy to see it break 45 again. Now we need to get to 5,000. As far as pullbacks, no, it doesn't. There's no reason. I mean, people don't understand that. They keep thinking gold's a stock. There is no pullback. Why would I pull back? I'm just going to keep going with it. I'm going to keep, it's going to keep going up. The demand's going to be there. So the only reason I can't sell my Canadian club, so this goes up to $100 a bottle. And then the only reason this price goes down if there's no demand for it. But if there's demand making it go to 100, then it's, as long as the demand's there, I can raise the price. And the price will never come down. If I mark at 150 and there's 10 people wanting to buy it, well, why would I lower the price? So why would gold and silver ever come down until there's no demand? And how would you get to no demand for gold and silver? So the price would never go down in a free market, in a physical price, not this bullshit COMEX paper, 5,000 contract bullshit. And that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about physical. All right. Let's look at football tonight. We got Indiana 3.5, 48.5. I have played this game. Again, it was 30-20 when they played, and Indiana won at Oregon. Now, Indiana, you look at it, they just beat Ohio State. 13-10 to win the Big Ten. And then they killed Alabama 38-3. Outstanding defense. Their defense is a 9. Oregon's is a 14. Not impressed with Dante Moore. Maybe Chris Chambliss is a little bit better, or Trinidad and Tobago, as I call them. But I'm not a big Dante Moore fan. He was a choke at UCLA, and they benched him, and it's more of a system here at Oregon than he's good now. But they've already seen it. They've got the speed down. Indiana, ultra confident, beating Ohio State. I think this will be another game in the 20s. Maybe not. I mean, Alabama got 3 points on them. Now, in defense of that, Alabama's quarterback hurt his shoulder because he didn't slide. Another idiot quarterback, and they only got 3 points, but he didn't play the second half. So we don't know. We do know Ohio State's quarterback played the whole game. They got 10 points. So this defense is going to shut down Oregon's. Oregon has a very good defense. They shut out Texas Tech, which was a good offense. Good quarterback. Morton's a good quarterback, good running, and they just shut that down. So Indiana plays the style. They run the ball down your throat. Then they can make a few throws, but they're basically run and pound and then get a first down, control the clock, control the game. That's what they're doing. Green Bay Packer football of the 60s. We're going to run it down your throat, and every once in a while, Bart Starr on 3rd and 1 will throw long and catch you and get a touchdown. But normally we have a great defense, so we're going to let our defense play. We don't want to turn the ball over. That goes out of our hands. But so by having a great defense, we want to run and eat clock and then not give our defense a bad. That's how this is coached. So you're betting on Vince Lombardi kind of here strategy wise. We're going to run. We're going to let our defense win the games for us, which is what's happening. Oregon, they have the worst coach I've ever seen. This guy's an idiot. He went for 4th down at least 4 times against Texas Tech's defense, which has 5 first-round draft picks on it. Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you think? And he didn't get any of them. Why would you go for it? A couple, he could have kicked field goals. And by the way, you can punt. And by the way, your defense is strong. Play to your defense. So of the two coaches, I like Indiana's coach better. I like Indiana's quarterback better, and I like Indiana's defense better. I think Indiana wins the game. I think it'll be a defensive game just because of the style, right? Indiana's style of controlling the game by running it, sort of like what Mahomes does. Mahomes controls the game by keeping the ball on offense. A run here, a pass to Kelsey there, a short pass here, drive down the field, get your first downs. And they play a lot of unders, Kansas City, because of that. So that's what I think Indiana is. We're going to run, but we can open it up if we need to, but we prefer to just run and get first downs and go from there. So again, I won't be able to watch the game because I don't have ESPN and I don't care. I'll watch the highlights on YouTube like I did this morning. I watched the game in 20 minutes. I didn't have to hear Herb Kirkstreet bitch about whatever he's bitching about. I mean, I really can't take that guy for more than 10 minutes. He's terrible. Oh, look at the block by the line. Why are they so infatuated by blocks by the receivers and blocks by the linemen? Why is that such an important part of the game that they need to talk about it? John Madden, Pat Summerall never talked about blocks. Maybe Nate Newton once in a while, right? All right. So I think this is a ball control game, 48.5. I think it's a close game. I think Indiana wins. Maybe like 20-17 or something like that. It'll be right in there. Maybe they get a little. Will they shut them out? Oregon's not shutting out Indiana. Okay, so it's not going to be 22-0 like Texas Tech. But I think that's Oregon pushed it with Texas Tech. I don't think they're going to get 22. It'll be around there with Indiana. Anyway. That's what you get here. Be a good game. Be a good defensive game with two good defenses. Oregon's got a 14. Indiana's a 9. Oregon shuts out Texas Tech 24-0. And Oregon, whoop-de-doo, they beat James Madison. They let James Madison come back because it was fixed. They end up winning the game by 17. They're up 34-3. They win 51-34. The spread was 20. They win by 17. So I hope they get what's coming to them. But Oregon wasn't in the Big Ten title. So they have played and lost. So, an edge there. So I think Indiana wins. I'll put it that way. All right. Let's look at the NFL, which starts tomorrow. Again, there's one game on Amazon, the Bears and Packers. Why are you showing it? Is everybody going to go and buy Amazon to watch this game? No fucking way. And the people in Green Bay and Chicago who would do that get the game on ABC anyway. So they get the game regardless. So they don't need to buy it. Am I going to buy Amazon to watch this shit? No. I'll watch it on YouTube. But why? Why aren't you showing it on TV? You're losing the ad. These advertisers must be pissed off. They're paying millions of dollars to show their ads, and you're not putting the game on TV. Well, Amazon's paying us $1 billion. Well, I guarantee you, Amazon's not getting their money's worth because they're not getting. If you looked at subscriptions last week for Amazon, let's say it's 1 million people, and now you're going to look at subscriptions after, for this game, it'll still be 1 million people. If they think 1 million people are going to sign up for Amazon to watch this game, they're out of their fucking minds. And I know there's no demand. There's no market for this. There's market for football. There's market. I'll watch the Ram Panther game. It's on Fox. I'm going to watch that game, but I ain't going to pay for it when the other 5 games are on regular TV. Oh, well, it's this game's Saturday at 8 p.m. So the biggest window, and they're just fucking around. It's like ESPN on New Year's Eve, not showing the games on regular TV. It's the stupidest thing they could have done. So they're costing themselves a lot because they think, well, people will pay to watch it. People need to watch it, they'll pay. Nah, people are going to pay. Maybe a few, but not what they're thinking. More people are pissed off like I am than, oh, let me go get Amazon. No. All right. So we start off with the Rams, 10.5, 46. This number is 10, 10.5, 46, 46.5. Like I say, the weather says rain and wind, and that was yesterday. We'll check again today. The Rams are an over team with the 27 defense. Now, this is the last 5. Stafford, who's got like 46 touchdowns. Carolina, under team with the 22 defense. They more or less played 2 deep zone, and it caught Stafford off balance the first time they played, and he threw 2 picks. He thought he misread the coverage. That won't happen this time. Carolina lost to Tampa, and they backdoor in. I mean, what kind of joke that is? And Atlanta wins like idiots. Atlanta should have lost the game for draft position. So what did they get by winning? Nothing. They didn't win their division. They still went. They still finished 8-9. So I don't get it. Carolina. I mean, there's a big drop off with Steve Young here. LA 11-2 is a road favorite. 14-3 in a teaser this year. So if it was a quiet day, I'd bet the over, and I'd bet it big. But I can't. I got rain and wind, the 2 things that don't like overs. So I got to be careful in it. That takes me, do I take Carolina at 16? Well, not necessarily. Doesn't mean they're going to score. But I think the Rams win the game. I'm a little worried about 4.5. I'm hoping to see a lower number. I'm hoping to get a 9. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I don't know if anybody's going to bet on Carolina. So I might have to do. Now, this is where, if this is 7, this is a lock. Take the Rams -1. So this is where the line determines how much you bet on the game. So there's probably a small bet on the Rams at the 4.5. I'm killed on the weather, killing my over, and then it goes, do I go under because of the weather? Maybe that's the prudent play, but Stafford with 49 touchdown passes, I'm not really looking to bet that. I'm betting them under. Next game, we have Green Bay 1, 44.5. This was 46. And you can see I got very windy there. And in the wind comes low scoring. So I still like Green Bay in 7. Now it's turned to Green Bay -1. Do I like the Bears in 7 as much as I like Green Bay in 7? I don't think so. Chicago played to win last week against the Lions with that defense, and the coach didn't take advantage. He didn't throw the ball against that weak secondary until like late in the game, and then Caleb scored 2 touchdowns to tie the game up, only for them to lose because their defense couldn't handle the Lions' offense. But that was a game they needed to win against the Lions, and they lost. And here comes Green Bay. So I don't really trust the Bears. Green Bay's dominated them in the 2 games. Again, if it wasn't the onside kick, Green Bay wins them both fairly easy. The win's going to change the game. They'll run Josh Jacobs more, and Love, who I don't trust, but okay. Caleb, I certainly don't trust. So I got Green Bay as an even team with the 27 defense, means they score about 24. And, I had to throw out last game because Love didn't even play. 27 defense. Now, I don't like Green Bay resting their guys to get ready for this week because they're going to be off timing. It'll take them a quarter to get going. Chicago, I don't know. They're a B team with the 22 defense. Caleb. I got Green Bay 15. This isn't right. Well, maybe 15-1 on the road. No, as a road dog, but they're not a road dog here. That's what it is. So the 15-1 on the road dog, if they turn, that's why I like them as the dog. They were 15-1 as a road dog. The road favorite, they're 3-3. They're nothing to bet on. The Bears are 15-2 this year in a teaser, 8-0 at home. So the Bears probably cover with the 7. Not that the Packers won't cover with their 7. Probably be a close game. I just think the Packers have the better overall offense and defense, better team. I don't like the coach. I actually like Johnson a little better. You then have a very cold and windy day. It's in the teens and windy. So you got to be careful there. It's probably more of an under game. I like this game over at first, but it's probably more of an under game. I'll move the total down from 46 to 45, which makes sense with the weather. And the way the Bears, they only scored 16 on the Lions, and there's been other low-scoring games by them. They're just going to run the ball, but Green Bay is going to possess it. They're going to play Army-Navy on them, throwing short passes and just driving down the field. And Chicago with their weak zone, their 2 deep look where they let everybody catch the ball in front of them. So they're not going to have the ball that much. So I definitely prefer Green Bay as the dog in the game. Unfortunately, they're now a 1. But with the weather, and we'll check it in a minute, probably more of a low-scoring game. Buffalo at Jacksonville. We got Buffalo is 1 and 51.5. Buffalo's a B team with a 21 defense and Josh Allen. Jacksonville is an A team with a 17 defense. Trevor Lawrence, who sucks, but he's a good runner, not a good quarterback. They're 7-0 as a home dog and 14-3 in a teaser this year. I think Jacksonville can win the game. I think they're a very live dog in the game, first of all. Secondly, I think they'll be high scoring. We got perfect weather. We have no wind, and it's sunny in Jacksonville and warm. Being a playoff game, look for Josh Allen not to fuck around. He'll put it up. And then Jacksonville with Lawrence, they've been playing a lot of high-scoring games. This will be a high-scoring game. Absolutely. 51-45 is 24-21. Absolutely, this will go over that. I mean, Jacksonville their defense is okay, but we see Josh Allen against good defenses. The Philadelphia game was a weather game. But no, here it's Jacksonville. They don't have the same defense as Philly, although it is a 17 the last 5 games. But again, as we saw last night, if you have a real good offense, they're going to score on you, and they're not stopping Josh Allen. Now, will Buffalo win the game? I don't know. Jacksonville is a live dog getting 7.5, 7 points here. They're at home, and they've been scoring a lot. Now, we know Trevor Lawrence is a choker, and he could throw some interceptions, probably will. And Josh Allen is just a scoring machine, right? It's like Michael Jordan. He's going to score on you. So, like I say, I think this is high scoring as far as playing the team. I think you got to take Jacksonville as a home dog, but then you got to trust Trevor Lawrence, which I don't do. All right, the 49ers and the Eagles. Philadelphia is up to 5, 44.5. So I've seen it's probably still 4.5s and 5s. The Niners are an 8 team with a 22 defense. Brock Purdy play against is a road dog 6-1. It's a strange fact. The teaser trend is 1-6. The Niners as a road dog and 6-1 against. So they've been shit as a road dog. Now they've had the injuries, as we know. And again, even They won at the Rams. That's probably their one win. Seattle, um, that loss was at home. The other one, so it was earlier in the year. We'll have to take a look at their losses on the road. The Eagles are an under team with a 15 defense, so they're not scoring. Jalen Hurts looks terrible. I don't know what's going on there. Again, as they keep changing coordinators like every year. It's ridiculous. I heard a stat: Baker Mayfield in 8 years has 8 different offensive coordinators. I mean, I'd just say fuck it. I'm calling my own game. So Philly, an under team, 15 defense. Jalen Hurts. Play against Philly 15-2. Now it's going to be 40 degrees with a 10-mile-an-hour wind here. Well, not enough wind to make it. Let's bet it under because of the wind. So I don't think that 10 mile an hour. I think when you get to 15 is maybe when you have your issues. Because these quarterbacks throw it pretty hard, and the wind's really not gonna. If you hit a golf ball really hard, the wind won't take it. Unless it's really high. A real high shot, the wind will take it. But you hit a line drive through the wind's not going to touch it. So, I think this will be a close game. San Francisco's been playing well. Yeah, they lost to Seattle 13-3. But even then, you got a winner plus 11. Do we trust Philly? Do we trust Hurts? Barkley hasn't shown anything. The Niners have shown defense, even though half their guys are hurt. Their offense, you got McCaffrey. He's going to have a tough time against Baum and Jalen Carter and all the other stars on their defense. I don't know. Over and under, I kind of am undecided about. Initially, this was an over. The Niners have been scoring a lot. And then I just think that, Philly's probably not going to score a lot, but probably neither will the Niners with this defense. The weather's not going to be a factor. So you can possibly take the Niners. You can possibly take the under. Philly, you could take, but you got to trust Justin Hurts. And the way the Niners have been playing, I don't know. Again, there's the Bears. They scored 100 points on. In Seattle, they got 3 on. So which team shows up? I think they'll play hard. It's nothing new for the Niners in the playoffs. So look for a good game here. I think this will be a close game. San Diego goes to New England. New England 3.5, 46. San Diego an under team with an 18 defense and Herbert. New England's an 18 with a 19 defense, Drake May. San Diego 4-0 as a road dog this year. Otherwise, in the teaser, they're not so strong. New England 6-1 as a home favorite, 16-1 overall. So there's some big teasers. New England 16-1 in a teaser. Houston 16-1 in a teaser. Denver 16-1 in a teaser. You've got play against Philly 15-2. You've got Jacksonville 14-3. And you've got the Rams 14-3 in teasers, and Chicago 15-2, which I think I already mentioned. So, but I notice it doesn't necessarily hold in the playoffs. I've done this every year where I look at, they're 15-1 in the regular season, and then all of a sudden they lose in the playoffs, and you're scratching your head. So it kind of. It's a macro look. It's the whole season against every team. So you really have to break it down. Breakfast with the professor. You really have to break it down to this game, right? So, New England 6-1 is a home favorite, 16-1 overall. Both good defenses. Drake May's been lighting it up, but now you got San Diego with an 18 defense, and it's a playoff game, and he's never been in a playoff game. People just think beating the Jets and beating Miami twice, he's a superstar. This is what determines you. Look at Lamar. He can't win a playoff game because he's a choke. So if you look at Lamar, he can't win. So it's really not, well, he's good in the regular season. We don't care. This is playoffs. We don't know Drake May in a playoff game. He was never in an ACC big game, championship game. We don't know how he's going to be. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful with Bryce Young. You got to be careful with Caleb. You got to be careful with Lawrence. And you got to be careful with Drake May and CJ Stroud. These are not clutch players at this point. That's why we bet on Mahomes. He's been there, done that. He wins. We win money because we bet Mahomes. Josh Allen, I'm not sure of. Aaron Rodgers, yes, we can win money with Aaron Rodgers. Herbert, I'm not clear on. So we're going to learn a lot as we get these no Mahomes this year, which hurts because we'd like to bet Mahomes. Hey, Ron, good morning. Yeah, 4,500, and I think we're near 80 on silver. Let's take a quick look there. Yeah, we got 45.04 and basically $80 silver. Past few days, that the banks have been struggling with it for some reason, and I have no idea. They're still trying to short it and keep the price down. I don't know what they're thinking. I think it's really they have to get out. These idiots are still shorting it. They still don't understand. This is an economic thing. This is not a stock thing. There's demand for the product. There's low supply. Price goes up. They don't understand that. So they see the price go up and they look at their chart and they go, oh, okay, it's going to come down. We got to short it. And it pushes it down, but then all the buying from China and Russia push it back up. So they're losing billions of dollars on their shorts, but they keep doing it because they look at the chart because they don't understand economics at all. And that's what's happening, I think. All right. Good to see you, Ron. We snuck through yesterday at under 58.5. So we know we got good defense. The weather is not an issue in New England or at Pittsburgh. It's only an issue in Carolina, surprisingly enough, and in Chicago, where it's real windy. And I feel it outside. Being in Detroit, it's very windy here. But not, it's strange. You got Chicago, you got Philly, Pittsburgh, New England hosting games. No domes this weekend. So Drake May is not sole reason for Pat's shocking turnaround. Okay, whatever. So we're not sure if he's a choke or not, if he's going to throw picks or not, if he can throw touchdowns or not. He looks good against the JETSs and against Miami, but does he look good? Here he's going to face a real defense. So I don't know. I'm very careful with New England here. I'm playing the total in the game. And our last game is Houston and Pittsburgh. Houston 338. I'm actually playing this a very strange way. This is a fifth dimensional play. Houston, a B team with the 20 defense, CJ Stroud, who's a choke, and Pittsburgh's an under team with the 20 defense, and Aaron Rodgers, who's not a choke. They might look at the way he beat Baltimore, right? Houston 6-1 is a road favorite, 16-1 in a teaser. Just like New England, 6-1 is a home favorite, 16-1 is a teaser. But you got to look at who they played, and they're beating Tennessee is a road favorite, probably Houston, probably the Jets and the Giants and teams like that. Houston, great defense. Pittsburgh gets TJ Watt back. So they're playing. They get DK Metcalf back. Warren and Goodwell have been looking very good running the ball. Their defense came up against Lamar. Now they had some big problems against Lamar, letting Zay Flowers wide open twice. I'm sure they'll look into that. But I don't know if CJ Stroud can can figure it out. I mean, he's not a very good quarterback. So where I would normally take Houston under, I'm not doing it this week. I have a surprise. Now, as far as Pitt as a home dog, probably good, but again, you're still fucked up with the defense. So I have played the total in this game. Yeah, I know we won by a half point. Yeah, it was 52 and a half. We went under 58 and a half. And which game? You're talking the Pitt game? Yeah, 38 is low. That's what it says, though. I don't see people overvalue you. Houston has a great defense. We know that, but they don't. Look at the Raider game. They beat them 23-21. If they had a really strong defense, they'd have shut out. How the Raiders score on them, right? Now, watching Pittsburgh, Baltimore twice, they had no problem getting in the 20s, right? Pittsburgh. So I look at it like that. You're not going to shut out Aaron Rodgers, not with DK Metcalf and the running backs. And Houston does score. Houston plays a lot of, they score 20, 30 points a game. So that's why my total is what I'm doing. Yeah, Pitt, this game is, I think it should be 44-45. Pittsburgh doesn't have that great defense. I mean, Joe Green's not playing. So, in Houston, like I said, their defense, first of all, they're at Pitt on grass. It's not going to be as strong. You got Aaron Rodgers, who's going to know what to do with it. So this is definitely a total play, as Ron knows. But that's why it's a surprise. Normally, Houston, I'm going to bet it under. But this is sort of like an Iowa game. They're making the under so low that you can't play the under. A 46, I'm playing this game under. A 38, I'm already in a teaser, right? So now I got to go 32. I mean, that's they will have no problem getting 32. Then that is weather, and I don't see a weather problem there. Joe Green loves his Coke, and that's not with high fructose corn syrup. When he drank it, it was sugar. You know, Coke changed the recipe from sugar to high fructose corn syrup because it was cheaper, but it tastes like shit now, and it's very bad for you. Not that the sugar was great for you, but the high fructose corn syrup will kill you. You don't want to get cancer. Stop eating high fructose corn syrup. So that's the biggest problems. So I've got 2 locks in this mess and 1 lock tonight. And then the other games, I don't see really. I think Frisco, Philly is a close game. I think San Diego, New England will be a close game. Houston, Pitt, I think will be a close game. I can't see CJ Stroud blowing out Pittsburgh. Sorry. The only game I really see is the Rams, Carolina, where the Rams should blow them out, but they're getting the weather. So let's look at the weather. And let me refresh it. Okay. So we start off LA's at Carolina. Now I'm on the weather.com, NFLweather.com, and then it goes. And then if I click into read more, it then gives me play by quarter. So it tells me, okay, here's what it looks like. So it's going to be 66. So no cold. Well, it's in Florida. No, it's in Carolina. 12-mile-an-hour winds. I'm not worried about the gusts. I mean, there's always gusts, but they just gust. They just take 2 seconds. Probable slight chance of thunder showers. So the wind is down a little bit. I had very windy and rainy. Now it's a slight chance of thunderstorms with the wind going down to 12 miles an hour. Second quarter, 66, 13 mile an hour. Third quarter, slight chance of thunderstorms, 64, 12 mile an hour. And the fourth quarter, 63, slight chance of thunder showers, 10 miles an hour. So where it was, we're going to get rain for sure, is now slight chance of thunder showers. And the slight chance is like 50%, 60%. So are there going to be thunder showers? So I will probably make this play tomorrow. The game is at 4:30. I'll probably make it in the morning after we get the latest. If you take away the rain and the wind's down to 10, 12, how much wind's going to bother Stafford? I don't think 10 or 12, but that's the problem. He played in Detroit in a dome, and now he's in a dome in LA. He hasn't really played much, except for maybe at Green Bay and at Chicago when he was with the Lions, where they played outdoors. So again, he's not had a lot of outdoor play. At Georgia, yeah, they would have played outdoors. I can't believe he played at Georgia. So if we get rid of the rain, I don't think the wind's going to bother him. Then it becomes an overplay. At this point, I would probably take the Rams minus the 4.5, hoping I can get a 10. I'd like to get it to 3, but I don't want to really lay 4.5, especially with the weather, because they'll just win by 3 and say, fuck it, we're winning. Steve Young, I don't trust him at all. So you got to be careful on an over. Oakland with LA with a 27 defense, Carolina with a 22. Should be in the normal world, this would be an over game. They played 31-28 of 59 when they played. So that's what I prefer to play is the over. But I can't play it in a thunderstorm. So let's wait till tomorrow. Green Bay, Chicago, we've got chance of snow showers, 33 degrees and very windy. So it's like first quarter, 20 degrees, 20 mile an hour winds. Second quarter, 20 and 20. Third quarter, 20 and 20. Fourth quarter, 14 as we get later in the day, and 19. So you're dealing with 20 mile an hour winds the whole game. This will be an Army-Navy game. So I like the points, and I like the total, and the total is still high for us at 45. You got to be kidding. How are they going to get to 51? Not only is it cold out, which will maybe not hurt Green Bay, Chicago as much as it would hurt Detroit and Chicago, but you have 20 mile an hour winds. So a little pass all of a sudden gets blown away. As we all remember that Raider Jet game in 1968 when LaMonica threw the ball to the side for the running back, and the wind blew it 5 yards away. But since it was a lateral, it became a fumble, and the Raiders lost because they threw a sideways pass with the wind. They're idiots. All right. Buffalo, Jacksonville, 61, mostly cloudy, 8 mile an hour winds. I'm not even going to worry about it. It'll be warm and sunny and not windy. Go points. The Niners and the Eagles. Now, it's actually pretty warm here. We got 35, feels like. So there is actually a wind chill, which is surprising. 43 goes to 35, 16 mile an hour winds, slight chance of rain. Second quarter, 33, 15 mile an hour winds, slight chance of rain, doubtful. Third quarter 31-15, and fourth quarter 28-14. Pretty good wind. I think this turns into another Army-Navy game. But you're not really going to get rain. There's no rain here. It's a little bit of wind. Philly will run the ball. The Niners will run McCaffrey. The defense is so this probably is a lower scoring game. Well, what should be a lower scoring game, and so I like the dog because in this type of game. But Philly could win at home. But the difference is when the Rams and Frisco and San Diego fly across country now, there's a little different. It's a playoff game, so they'll be focused. I think the Rams blew out somebody. I think they blew out the Niners, and then they went to Carolina, the next week where they didn't care. So that's the difference. Here they'll be focused. San Diego, New England. Let's see. We got 27-8. We got 25-9. We got 25-9, and we got 23-9. Not bad wind, not bad temperature. San Diego won't like it, but New England will. So the weather is not really an issue. There's a chance of rain, just a chance. Let me see what that says. 20%. Yeah, it's 20% of chance of rain. So it's not going to rain. If it is, it'll be light, and then it's no wind. It's just a little cold. So no weather issues. And then Pittsburgh and Houston. Houston's not going to be like being outdoors. 21 with 11-mile-an-hour winds, 21 with 11, 21 with 11, and 21 with 11. So it's going to be a cold night, 20 degrees, slight chance of rain, not probable, and 11-mile-an-hour winds. So the winds shouldn't be a factor. Houston plays their big D. They do score. Pittsburgh, I don't think this will bother Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay. I think this is a holiday for him, 30, and we're not going to get rain. And probably we would get snow if we got anything because it's so cold there. So the only game I see is the Chicago game, very cold, very windy, 20-mile-an-hour winds and cold. Everything else, Philly 10-mile-an-hour, LA's now, Carolina's much less, not as windy, and chance of thunderstorms are minimal. So we'll get a better, because the wind and the rain can move through tonight and you're not getting it. Again, it's a forecast. What do these weathermen know? So you're really not dealing with that. So again, in the teaser world, the Rams are 14-3. Chicago is 15-2, 8-0 at home. Jacksonville is a 7-0 as a home dog, 14-3 in a teaser this year, and Buffalo is not a good road favorite. Play against Philly, 15-2. New England is 16-1 in a teaser this year, and Houston is 16-1 in a teaser this year. It doesn't mean you can't go against them. It just means if you bet New England, you were 16-1. So does that mean you bet New England this game? Well, it's all comes down to the matchup. How are they going to handle San Diego's defense? And that's what and how is May going to handle it? Herbert's been there, done that, hasn't been that good at it. But now he's got Harbaugh, so he's got another Harbaugh number 2. What's amazing is now they fired Harbaugh. So that's it, if there's any questions on that. I buy the Mexican code. It's better, and I like the glass bottle frosty cold. Yeah, that's supposed to be real sugar, the Mexican ones. Definitely. But the regular, see, they keep dumbing down the food. They keep adding all these bullshit ingredients that the body really can't handle. I mean, this is why I eat avocados, right? They're natural. They're cheap. They're natural. They're healthy. I'm not eating the bullshit. I'd be very afraid of anything in a can. Canned vegetables, canned fruit, a lot of high fructose corn syrup, because they keep it on the shelf longer. And people don't buy, that much of it. So they got cereal is terrible for you. I wouldn't eat cereal. I mean, I used to eat like Cheerios and Wheaties, Wheat Checks, thinking, well, it's healthy. No, it's not healthy. Yeah, it's all poison. They put a lot of salt in it, which we don't want to eat. The only salt you want to eat is Celtic salt, the blue salt I eat. You don't want to eat regular salt. I mean, it's terrible. So, anyway, that's what you got to be careful of. Um, so, you avoid high fructose corn syrup, which is in most salad dressings, ketchups, barbecue sauces, things like that. And it's all in the cans. I looked at beets. I got a salad and they had a beet in it. I says, "Are these fresh?" She said, "No, no, no, they're canned." So I went to the grocery store. Oh, maybe I'll buy beets. They taste good on the salad. And I look, high fructose corn syrup. So fortunately, you can go to the veggie aisle and they got the big beet there. Now, how do you make the beets? I asked the Russian girl. She told me, you get a pot, you fill it with water, you put the beet in, and you let it and you boil it for 30 minutes. And you stick your fork in, and when it gets finally soft, like I can't get it in, I can finally put it in, then it's ready. And it tastes great, nice and sweet. That's how you get, if you like beets. They're very healthy for you. And I would just do one at a time. I know they come in bunches, like you can get 2 or 3, but you're better off with uh, regular fresh vegetables and not the crap they serve us. I don't know how anybody's still alive though. They're trying to poison us. But that's why, like, I just had my olive oil and I squeeze my lemon, mix it together. That's my breakfast. Then I have my avocado, my pita, and I'm often going till lunch, and then I'll have like an omelet and veggies and stuff like that. But just be careful with that. Eggs are probably the best thing you can eat, and eat them all. Eat the egg whites and yellows. That's all the protein, the yellows. Um, what else? So that's football. Let me know if there's any other questions with that. I got some idiot giving me stock tips. Here's our stock tips. Yeah, probably not interested in that. I haven't checked Mark McGuire today. There was a thing on Egon talking his year-end event. So then I read this, and you're trying to figure out. So he says, death of EU, unipolar world collapses, NATO won't survive. So it's really the death of EU, the death of NATO, all with this Russian thing and everything else. So he does that a lot. And I've been watching a lot of these, the end of, God, why does it do that? The end of wisdom and stuff. So there's a lot of people are just being programmed. They just are not good. There are too many commercials, these little texts that are meaningless. They're trying to distract you and hurt your concentration. You can't concentrate as long because you're getting inundated by all this stuff, and that's the problem. And it's just not. You try to avoid it. Fortunately, with my football and looking at my economics and finding us some videos, I keep my concentration good. But a lot of people can't concentrate. They're always on their phone, and they want you to be doing all this stuff. And it really hurts you. I got to see what Alyssa wants. Just a second. So anyway, that's what they're doing to you. So you're getting all these. They're just trying to distract everybody. It's sort of like the banks. The banks don't tell you what's going on. Um, as Ron was saying, 4,500 gold. They don't really tell you it's paper. They don't really tell you what's going on, why it goes to 4,600 and then down to 4,400. Why is it ebbing and flowing? There's no reason. It's just bullshit. The banks are controlling. So again, remember, the banks control the government. And that's why the government's so fucked up. And then the government just goes along with whoever pays them. They're not like what's best for us. They're taking the bribes, and that's it. It's all a joke. It's really hard to vote for anybody when you've got the government. Which idiot am I going to vote for? That's why I really don't vote for president. I'm not happy Trump's the president, or well, maybe better than Kamala Harris, but neither of them are going to do anything. They're all controlled by George Soros, and the banks control the Senate and the Congress. So we're really like, the U.S. is in big fucking trouble, right? Could you imagine you're not in control of your own house or your own money? That people are telling you what to do. No, Howard, you want to spend your money here. You don't want to spend your money there. Well, I want to eat veggies. No. Eat candy. I mean, that's how bad it is. They're trying to tell you what to do and how to do it. We bet football. It should be our choice. I try to guide you saying, well, this is the information I give you. You make your choice. I give you the free pick to try to say, here's my pick. Now, you don't have to play my pick, but I'm giving you good reasons. I back it up. And most people don't. Most people, you listen to BetMGM or some of these idiots, they the biggest thing is, who do you listen to? So you really want to get to the point where you're making the decisions in your life, and you're gambling with your women, with your money, with gold and silver. But you're not informed. And that's where you need to get informed as you go. So what you're trying to do is, but you got to know who to listen to make your own decisions. And what they're doing here with this stupidity thing, I mean, what this is telling you is they want to keep you stupid. They don't want you to understand, right? How our society started worshiping idiots, right? So that's basically, you listen, but you listen to the wrong guy. That's why I say don't listen to Peter Schiff and Andy Scheckman, and they might come across, but they don't know what they're talking about. So I'm trying to keep you away from listening to idiots. And that's really what everything is. You don't know because they didn't teach you. And even if they did teach you, you don't know if it's the right stuff. Right? I had a Keynesian economic class, my undergraduate. I didn't learn anything. I could not have taught this class with the Keynesian economics I learned in my undergrad. Then I got my master's and I learned Austrian economics, and I can teach you every day. So it was, the first guy was an idiot, and the second guy actually taught us what's going on. So you've got to be smart enough to know, which guy do I listen to? So when it comes to finance and economics, I can be there and give you the real facts, not the bullshit. Inflation is 2%. And then I tell you inflation is not 2%. So I'm calling them out that they're idiots. And so I want you to make your own decisions, but you need to find out, who do I talk to listen. So like Attack on Wall Street guy. That's why I bring in all this other stuff out. I tell you, what does he do? He doesn't know. He's an army guy. He's got $60,000, and the guy says, go into real estate trust. So he does. Well, yeah, you're going to get 8 to 10% back. I guarantee it, which obviously he couldn't. And then what happens? It goes to zero. He didn't know what he was doing, and he didn't know who to trust. And the guy, instead of telling him to sell, you know what? There's real estate problems. You need to get out of your real estate trust at 60 grand, and let's put you in the gold and silver. That's what a guy should have told him, but he didn't. And he watched him go to zero. And then he wonders why the guy killed him. That's the problem. Why did the guy in the military not know what to do? Not know who to talk to? That's your job, to inspect the buildings. No, it isn't. It's his job to sell you is to get commission off of you. That's his job. And you fell right into it. So be careful who you listen to. When I hear a new guy, I check him out. I go into Google and I go, is this guy a Keynesian or an Austrian? And most of these guys are Keynesians, especially when they talk. As soon as they talk macroeconomics, they're Keynesians, because we don't talk macroeconomics. Macro is the whole thing. We always get into the details. So that Mr. Fuji AI guy, you can click on and like subscribe, but you don't subscribe, and then you can kind of get details of him. And he talks about macroeconomics, so I knew he was a Keynesian then. So I don't listen to him, but that's basically what you're doing. You're looking at that, and you want to get to the point where you've learned it and you can make your own decisions. And that's what I try to teach you in football. Go through all the fundamentals, and then you can make your decision. I'm helping you with the decision because of my expertise. And I've been doing this since 1977 with the teasers. So I'm pretty good at it. So I'm trying to guide you. But if you listen to some of these BetMGM guys or just some guys on the radio, you don't know their background. You don't know if they're any good at it. Oh, take Houston over Pittsburgh. Why? Well, they don't tell you the why. You don't know. And then you bet it and you lose because some Joe Blow on BetMGM told you to. But he's not really, he doesn't know anything. He's just trying to get you to bet because it's BetMGM. They want you to bet on BetMGM and lose because they want the action. And you're listening to it. So you got to be careful with that. It's the same thing with sell your gold and silver. I'm warning you not to. And then I give you the reasons. So Attack on Wall Street guy doesn't know and never understood what he was doing or why he was in it in the first place or what dangers to look for. Everybody's starting to default on their mortgage. Maybe I get to get out of my real estate trust, which I should have been in gold the whole time if I'm just looking to not lose. So I had $60,000. Well, shit, gold then was a couple $100. You could have bought a couple 100 ounces, and then by 2009, it was 1,100 an ounce. This guy would have made a fortune had he known what he was doing. And that's why I'm warning you about the stock market crashing, because I think it will, because the economy is crashing, because the dollar's worthless. And BRICS, nobody wants to trade with the U.S. and get this shit. They all want to get out of it. So, I'm not sure, but you want to know why. Why does the ship sinking? Because it hit an iceberg and the water's coming in, and the way the problem solve it is what do I do? I got to get out. I got to get to the lifeboat. And we're in the same situation where the money is worthless. You got to get out of it. And the only thing to get into is gold and silver. If you're in stocks, you're still in the money. If you're in Bitcoin, you're still in the paper. And your goal is to get out of the paper because they printed it and it's not worth anything. So what good's a Bitcoin, which isn't a coin, and it's not real, and it's worth 100,000? Okay, try to get your 100,000. Well, you're not going to get it. You'll be lucky if you get 10,000 of it, but you're not. I want it. Well, who's controlling it? Nobody. So how do you get your money? Well, I want my 100 grand. From whom? Who's giving you the 100 grand? Right? You don't even know. It doesn't make any sense. It's not backed by anything. Sorry, the Bitcoin's closed. And yeah, that 100 grand you had isn't worth anything. It's all the same. It's all this. Oh, by the way, this isn't worth anything. You know what? Gosh darn it, this isn't worth anything. But you know what will be worth something is this. And that's why we go to it. But you've got to have the understanding. Don't diversify. Don't get into the stocks well, I'm going to make a lot of money, but the money isn't worth anything. You could have $1 million in dollars. It isn't worth anything because this is printed to death. This has no value. So why do I want to make money in dollars? I don't want to make money in this. I want to make money in that. And we're making money in this, and this is losing value. So the only way you make money in this is maybe you own a stock. Well, I'll buy real estate. Well, how's that going to do? As it's crashing. Well, I could, you're not going to make money buying cars. You could make money buying Montana cards and Mantle cards or Rolexes, but that's getting out of that and into this type of money. So you want to be into that. That money is what you need to get into. Because, and the reason the money is being printed, because inflation's really not prices going up, which is sad enough, but it's the dollar being printed to zero. And it's wiped out the Romans, it's wiped out the Germans, the French, the English, the Spain, you name the country, Venezuela, Brazil, Argentina, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Greece, Italy. I mean, name the country. Their money is worthless. And right now, every money is worthless. So you understand that. And I've explained why. So it's not like you don't know why. And you can teach it and you can tell people and you can explain it. So you got to be able to explain it. So once you can explain it, then you're fine with it. And that's where most people, and if Jimmy gives you bet Houston over Pittsburgh, and then I'd go, why? You can't explain it. You shouldn't be betting it. Well, Houston's got a good defense. Okay, but they're at Pitt, and there's Aaron Rodgers, and they have a pretty good defense, and they got DK Metcalf, and on and on and on and on. So that's what you're looking at. Well, the LA game, but the weather is going to get into it. So you understand all the variables that as the game's being played, what happens. So we hit yesterday because of Miami's defense. We got a little lucky, little unlucky. A couple of big plays. So it ended up at 58. We're under 58 and a half. Fine. Tonight we have tonight's game bet. And again, but I give you rhyme or reason. So more if you're a customer like Ron, you get the rhyme and reason. You understand why you're betting it. And I try to, as much as I can without actually saying, oh, here's who I bet. I can't really do that, but I do give a free play. So the free play being Green Bay as a dog turned into a favorite, but you can still bet it if you feel like, if you want Green Bay in 5. I think they'll control the game. I think it'll be a close game. And you like the points, and you got real cold weather and real wind, so it should be a lower scoring game. And they both can run. Jacobs is a good runner. So that's what you do. So in every aspect, you're trying to, like when I show you the doctors, I don't go to my doctor because my doctor's just going to give me pills. Here, take this pill. The pain will go away. You're not fixing the problem. It's just so I don't feel the pain. But I want to fix the problem. So again, I got here because I put castor oil and coconut oil, and now I put some cayenne pepper in it. And I put it, and now I got hair on my head. So it's a interesting thing. I hear commercials on the radio. Oh yeah, we can go to this clinic, and they'll staple hair in your head or something. I mean, it's like, or you could use castor oil and coconut oil and get hair. But they don't want to tell you that. So everything, you're trying to go to a source who understands it. So you want to get at the bottom line. You want to understand everything. Why are we buying gold and silver? I've told you. I know when Bobby's kids say, well, you can't take it to the grocery store. I don't even know what that is. What kind of argument is that? Are you saying it's not money, or do you even know what you're talking about? So that's how you explain it, is that with this, I can't take to the grocery store. I can do it now, but soon I won't be able to. And soon I'll need this to go to the grocery store. So I'm thinking ahead. We want to think ahead. We don't want to think behind. And that's what we're doing. But so your goal is to learn it to the point you can explain it. And once you can explain it, then it's easy for you to know what to do. So gold and silver, yeah, we know what to do. We really don't want to be in the stock market, and we really don't want to be in the bond market, and we really don't want to be in anything paper. We really don't know what Bitcoin is. Believe me, if I thought it was a good thing, I'd say buy Bitcoin, but I don't. It's not a coin. It's a bit. It's a computer thing. So we will see. You got to be careful with digital money. It's not real. Somebody can shut it off on you and you're fucked. So I got $1 million in digital dollars. Well, we have to shut off the digital dollars because we have a 37 trillion or $39 trillion debt now, and we need the money for that. So thank you very much for playing. We're going to steal all your money. And that's why they can't steal your gold and silver, especially if you have it. And I'm talking physical, not paper. And you're not trying to make a little bit of dollars because dollars are worthless. Anyway, I think that's about it. I got to go get my hair cut. I got a 12:30. If you need me, just email me. So Ron knows what to do. Ryan was a customer last year. I'm sure he will be soon again. So let me explain myself real quickly. When I do it, I put a lot of picks down because I pick a lot of winners. So if I put 10 picks down, I'm going to pick 7 or 8 winners usually. Occasionally I'll have a bad week. Sometimes I'll have a perfect week. But over the long run, I pick 70, 75% of my picks. And I'm very creative, putting the picks in multiple teasers. And then we did that last week with the locks winning, putting them in multiple teasers, and they win. So that's the strategy. I'm not your Joe Blow handicapper who gives you 3 picks and that's it with no description. Just bet Minnesota, Oakland, and Philadelphia. No description, and here it is. And I'm not doing straight bets, and I'm doing teasers, and it's a very high level of way I bet the teasers, as you can tell by the way I discuss the gold and silver. So that's kind of what it is. So you just see the teams, and then you agree on the teams. So when I used to do this, I used to buy Ron's newsletter. He's a handicapper out of Florida back in probably the 70s and 80s. And it was a $25 newsletter. He'd mail it to my house on Wednesday. And he'd give me his 75s, 80s, like confidence level. And I'd either bet him or I wouldn't bet him. I don't like that game. I like Philadelphia. He has Philadelphia. I'd bet it. And then he'd go, and then he'd mail them. So every Wednesday I'd get my letter. And then at the end, he gave me a 95 confidence level in the Florida State-Oklahoma game. And Oklahoma was laying 7 or 10 or something. I'm getting like 14. And I was scared because Oklahoma ran the wishbones. And it was the Ron Simmons team of Florida State way back in the day. And he gave it a 95. And I bet $2,000 in 1978 on that, which is a lot of money. But that one I really didn't know, but I trusted him because he normally gives 70s and 80s. See, he's being honest. So when he sees a 95, jump on it. Last week, I normally give 21, 25 unit locks. I gave a 30 unit lock, Texas Tech under, with Miami under, and it won. But it was a 30 unit. So you knew that I don't just give 30 unit locks. And I love the game, and they were both easy winners. And but that's the point. So you got to be really honest. And this is my opinion. Oh, I really love this one, and I give it a higher unit. So you got to pay attention to my units. And again, they don't all win, but more win than lose, and that's the whole key to it. So keep that in mind. All right, I'm going to have to go and get my hairs cut, and off we go. All right. So have a good day, everybody. www.teaserking.com. As always, let's leave you with the gold. Go for the gold. What are we at? We've hit 80, 80.14 on silver and 45.07 on gold. We're having a good day. So you guys, this is why I try when you get scared when silver drops from 83 to 73 or something. And I tell you, just stay calm because just keep the whole picture. And at the end of the day, boom, it's back over 80. We know it'll get to 83. We're hoping it pushes into the 90s. It should be 100. It should really be 500 if we didn't have the stupid COMEX paper shit. And the same thing with gold. We finally broke 45. Looks like we got to 45.10. Now it's 45.07. So there you go. So let's make some money in that. And off we go. All right. www.teaserking.com. Off to get my hair cut. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a nice day.